Welcome everyone to another episode of the Pierce Brothers. I'm Joe, and today we're going to be taking a look at my top 10 EDC fixed blades. Fixed blades are obviously a great option for an EDC item because, well, they're better than a folder in a number of ways. Biggest reason being that there's no extra step to deploying your knife. They're a great tool in that regards. They're a great tool for either utility purposes or self-defense or offense, should you need to use it. So, my primary option for self-defense is always a handgun. But that being said, there are times when you cannot carry a handgun, whether it's work restrictions or an area you're at for restrictions or travel or something else that might restrict your ability to carry a handgun. So a fixed blade, a good fixed blade in that case is a great option to, number one, have as a tool, and secondly, to have as a self-defense option. Now, obviously, you don't want to be that guy that brings a knife to a gunfight. So that's why a handgun is always the preferred choice of self-defense. But that being said, I did one of these videos quite a few months back, and we're in fall 2024 now, and I wanted to do an updated list of my top 10 overall fixed blades. There have been some new models that have come out this year, and I wanted to make sure and include some of those that have been great new options or new additions to the knife world. And I did a top 5 back in, I think, February this year, and that was a decent video, great knives in that video. And then I did a top 5 fixed blades for under $150. So if you haven't watched that, go give that a watch. But some of those top 5 for under $150 are in this top 10 list. And some from the original video are in here, but this list is more comprehensive and it includes new models for this year. So I'm calling it the fall 2024 version of this. I'm sure I'll have another version out next spring with some new models that come out this winter. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into to what that top 10 list is. So coming in at number 10, we have the Montana Knife Company War Goat. So this is a newer model from this year that Montana Knife Company released. It was their first iteration into their tactical line of knives. It makes a great EDC knife. The reason it falls out to number 10 on the list is because, well, a couple of reasons. Number one is it's pretty lightweight. It's not a real thick knife. It is made out of Magna Cut steel, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. Magna Cut has had a little bit of mixed reviews lately, but in general, it's a pretty decent steel. It's a newer steel, but it has really good edge retention, which makes it a great skinning and just using knife for utility purposes. It has not done so well on the heavy use durability side as far as breaking, chipping, things like that. But that being said, if you're using a knife like 99% of us do for opening packages and such, even, they make these in their hunting line as well. Great for skinning because it's not going to be a heavy, hard using knife. That's just holding an edge, trying to do a task thoroughly. So that's why it falls out on this list a little bit. Just because I do have some concerns on its durability. It is a lighter, thinner knife. And secondly, the handle is a little bit on the small side. So it has this ring on the top, for extra retention, but still a great knife. It made my top 10 because it's a good overall knife. And I definitely wouldn't hesitate to carry this as an EDC knife. So that's number 10. Coming in at number 9, I'm actually wearing it in my pocket. This is the Primitive Woodsman Carolina Reaper. So this is a great option for a defensive knife. It comes with a deep pocket carry sheath that's leather. It's got an ulti clip on the side. Makes it great and easy to carry in your pocket. You don't have to worry about carrying it inside your waistband. It's really a pretty nice knife. It's got rubber scales on this one, which gives it a real good grippy texture. It's kind of the weirdest shaped knife on my list today. But that being said, it's not so curved that it's impractical or hard to carry. Some knives that get a lot of curve in the blade, either the retention in the sheath is kind of weird or it's just so curved that you couldn't use it for 90% of your tasks. But this one is just curved enough to give you that curved edge benefit while being usable for day-to-day tasks. So Primitive Woodsman Carolina Reaper number 9. Coming in at number 8, we have one of my top 5 budget knives. In fact, this would be my number 1 overall pick as a budget knife, just because of the price point on it. It's the Cobratech Kingpin. So this MSRP is at $139.99, but I purchased this from a local gun shop for $89.99. So price point is great. It's made out of D2 steel, so it's a very affordable knife. It's got a good, really good hand guard on there. You can reverse grip it. You can forward grip it. Use it as a utility knife, a defensive knife, kind of a general good all-purpose knife. It's also pretty thick, so it is going to be pretty strong to use in a lot of those situations where you might need something a little tougher. So awesome knife for a great price. Coming in at number 7, we have the SOG Pentagon FX Covert. This is another great option in the budget world. You can catch this one on sale from Midway USA for a pretty decent price. It comes in less than $200. It's right around that $150 mark or less if you are catching it on a sale like I did. I think I paid $125 for this. So great option. It is a double-edged knife. They do have a larger version of this knife, which would also be interchangeable in this slot on the list. I prefer the smaller one just for EDC purposes. But it's a great knife, lightweight. It's made of S35VN steel. Makes it a good production knife that you can get from a company that makes a lot of knives. So SOG Pentagon FX. Coming in at number 6, we have the half-face blades. Humint. This is a double-edged knife. It has really good finger grooves on this knife. Gives it a really good grip either way you grip it. This one is made of S45 steel. You can reverse grip it or forward grip it, but that handle is shaped such that it gives you a really good locked-in feel with your grip. So that thing is not going anywhere. Amazing grip on there. The downside to that is that it's limited on how big your hands can be to hold that knife. I wear a size large glove, and it's snug. You know, I get that in there and it locks it in really good. So if you wear larger than a large in your glove size, then this knife may have a handle that doesn't quite accommodate your hands. But that's a great option for a defensive knife. Not so much on the utility side, being double-edged, but you could obviously still use it for some basic tasks. So a good defensive knife right there is the half-face blades Humint. Coming in at number 5, this is a larger knife from Half-Face Blades. It is their Crow Scout. It's pretty much, I mean, I'd consider it one of their more classy knives that they make. I'm wearing that one as well. So larger knives, if I'm going to concealed carry, they're going to be a cross draw inside the waistband, like I'm carrying it right now. So there she is, 5-inch blade or just over 5 inches. Great big handle size. This is a good full-size knife. I use this a lot when I'm camping, hiking, all that in the outdoors. But I also EDC it quite often. It's very concealable, that bigger knife right in front of your hip, inside the waistband. Very comfortable, easy to carry, and concealable. Gives you a full-size knife for quick, easy access. This one has S35 steel. Yeah, great big, larger size knife, and it ranked so high on the list. You know, it's a little large for most people to carry every day, but I ranked it this high because I do carry it frequently. Easy to carry, in my opinion, and you can do everything with a big knife that you can do with a little knife, but a little knife cannot do all the things their big knife can do. So the bigger knife you can carry, the better off you're going to be. So I prefer to get, to me, you know, 4 inches that's about as small as I like to go on a knife blade for EDC. I do have a few on here that are a little bit shorter than that, but you know, 4 inches is ideal for me. Anything larger to 5 inches is about the max, I'd say. This one's about as big as I would like to carry. So great option there. I really do love that knife a lot. And it just has that classic kind of American Bowie style blade, which I love. Okay, well, let's move on to number 4. This one is a newer knife from this year as well. This is the Dynamis Crusader. This was announced at Blade Show this year. Really cool knife, kind of a unique shape to the blade. It is double-edged. It has a good thumb ramp on the back with some jimping. Also made out of magna-cut steel, so it's going to have really great edge retention. This knife was really designed as a grappling knife, so if you're into hand-to-hand combat and that, this is a great option to accompany that. It's designed obviously as a reverse grip knife in that situation, but you can also grip it forward grip. It has a really great thumb ramp to do so, and really lightweight. As if I'm going as light and minimalist as I can go, this would be my number one pick for that because of how lightweight and easy to carry it is. And the Dynamis sheath is also extremely versatile in that you can stick the knife in either direction. So you can position it anywhere on your body and move the handle to face whichever direction you prefer for your preferred draw method. So great knife there. I really love this knife a lot. I've carried it a lot, especially, I mentioned the lightweightness of this knife and its ability to be carried when you don't want a lot of weight. If you're just wearing gym shorts or something around, this is a great option. That clip on the Dynamis sheaths is really, really great for retention. It's also tuckable, so if you got to wear a dress shirt. But if you're just wearing gym shorts or anything, these are designed to clip straight onto your jeans or whatever clothing you are wearing. It's not designed to clip onto a belt. But yeah, very versatile sheath. A lot of people have gripes about their sheaths, but I really prefer them over other sheaths on the market. I think that they're a great option. So the Crusader, awesome knife, great knife. I know they're going to restock these here periodically, so get your hands on one if you can. Now, when we get to the top three knives, this is a very hard decision for me. It's almost like picking my favorite movie between Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and Indiana Jones. It's just really impossible. They're all tied for number one. So that's really, I have my top three all tied for number one, but they are my top three overall. And in no particular order I'll give these. I'd grab any of them in any scenario and be completely confident that that knife will do its job. So we'll start with the third knife I'm wearing today, and that is the Half Ace Blades Buteo. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I've never actually heard somebody say it. But this is also a newer knife model to this year. It's shaped kind of a unique blade, great for cutting. And I went ahead and sharpened the back edge as well. So it is double edge at the tip, but it does ship single edge. So if you're in an area that only allows a single edge knife, this is a good option. Has a great spot for your thumb on the back of the blade there. Some good jimping in that. The scales on this are a G10 with kind of a checker pattern, which is very aggressive. I really like an aggressive grip. Has a really good guard on there as well. Keep your hand locked in either reverse grip or forward grip. So awesome knife there. This one has a multicam black Cerakote on it. This is made of S45 VN steel, so another great steel choice. And as far as Half Ace blades go, this is a very affordable knife, right around that $300 range. So awesome knife. I love it. I've carried it a lot since they released this year. And I absolutely love it. I couldn't recommend this knife enough. We'll go to the next knife. Again, no particular order for these top three because they're all pretty well tied. I've got a Disaster Junior from Half Ace Blades again. I've got a couple of these that I carry quite often. This one has the serrations on there. It's got the acid splash blade. Very nice knife. It has full rock work all the way around from the tip all the way around back to the other edge. So edge to edge rock work gives it a really good grip. But that knife is just a beast of a knife for any kind of utility purpose you're going to want. It's got that reverse kind of tanto shape on the blade tip, which gives it a stronger tip than most knives. These are made, all of their DJs or their Disaster Juniors are made of 3V steel, or at least most of them. They've released some here and there in other steels, but 3V is their main choice for steel on those because of its durability and its toughness. The only downside to 3V steel is that it is not stainless. You got to make sure you're oiling it and maintaining that blade. So it's got a little higher maintenance, but it also has way higher durability and toughness. So great steel on those. I've got another one here that I carry and use a lot as well. I have this one set up for kind of that cross draw spot with the clip on there. But this one I usually carry inside the waistband ready to go. So Great knife, the Disaster Junior. I mean, they sell a ton of these. And if you're wanting a smaller version of this, they just released their Disaster Cub this year, which I have as well. It didn't make the list just because it's a little on that small side. It's really more of a utility knife. But again, great blade shape in that. But the breacher, the full size of this, has the 5-inch blade. And that knife is on my kit as my main kit knife because of, well, the shape of the blade. It's a great utility beater knife that you can use hard and use and abuse, and it's going to do its job. So great knife there. And then last for the top three, we have the Revere from Dynamis Alliance, made by Winkler. This one is. I don't know who makes the Crusader for Dynamis. That was number 4 on the list. But I know that Winkler makes the Dynamis Revere. Great knife. Winkler makes some really awesome knives too if you're looking for a great outdoor kind of wood knife or a defensive knife. I really love this Revere. It's 100% designed for self-defense, to be used in the reverse grip method. The grip on this is large enough that it will accommodate any size of hand. It has great jimping around to give you extra texture at some of those key points. You can also use it in the forward grip. It has a good thumb ramp on the back there with some jimping. It does have the partial serration on the back edge of the blade. But again, this is the perfect size knife, 4-inch handle, 4-inch blade. Awesome knife overall. I love that I carry it a lot. When I travel, ironically, I actually bring this knife and my Disaster Junior and that Buteo. I carry all 3 of those top 3 every time I travel because all 3 of those knives will handle anything that I need them to. And if I get stuck in a pinch while on the road, I want to have good tools with me. So those are my 3 choices for when I travel as well. If I'm out for a run or a long exercise of type where I'm going minimalist, it's always the Dynamis Crusader. Great lightweight knife, like I mentioned. When I cycle in that, I clip that up on my cycling pack. And then, the rest of these make it in, obviously. I do love the primitive Woodsman carry style with that deep carry pocket clip. Very comfortable to carry in your pocket. That's a great carry option. I do have a video out that's going to drop here on carry methods of my fixed blades, and I kind of go into how and where I carry and what clips I use and what I use to help make it more comfortable. I hope you've enjoyed this list. If there's a knife you suggest, I know I've always got lots of knives on my list that I'm trying to buy, but when you get into that custom high-end knife world, they're expensive, and I don't always have the cash to drop on them. So I have to plan those purchases out a little ways ahead, but there's a lot of knives on my list still that I'd like to get. So if you have suggestions, throw them in the comments. If you have these knives and you use them, throw a comment of why you like it and what you use it for. So again, thank you for watching this episode of the Pierce Brothers. Stay tuned for more knife content. We have tons of gun and other related content, all kinds of gear that we cover. So give us a subscribe and go check out some of our other videos. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.